What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and today we have some details for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, specifically about Kang and a major plot point for the movie coming from the big man himself, Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios. In a recent interview with Empire magazine, he gave us a lot of details about Kang the Conqueror and specifically about his situation inside of the quantum realm and why he needs Ant-Man. Well, if you have watched the recent trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and by the way, if you haven't, you definitely need to.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose.
But if you have, you actually saw a glimpse of why exactly Kang needs Scott, although it wasn't very apparent just by watching the trailer. But now that we know, now that Kevin Feige kind of told us why, we can clearly see what Ant-Man is doing for Kang in the trailer. So let's break down this recent interview, what Kevin Feige had to say, and then go back to the trailer and take a look at what Ant-Man is doing for Kang. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel videos. Now, as I mentioned, this is an interview with Kevin Feige with Empire magazine, and the title of this article is "Kang Brings a New Kind of Big Bad to the MCU in Quantumania," says Kevin Feige. And they revealed an exclusive image here of Kang the Conqueror of what seems to be him sitting in his time chair. Now, this could simply be somewhat of a throne for Kang the Conqueror inside of his big massive city that he's built inside of the quantum realm, otherwise known in the comics as Chronopolis. However, we know that his time chair is going to be how he kind of travels through time, and Kevin Feige basically tells us that in this article. So let's dive into the article and see what it has to say. It starts off by saying, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Infinity Saga, it took the combined might of the Avengers plus affiliated friends, a time-traveling quest, several seismic superhero deaths, and a humble rat being in just the right place at the right time to bring down Thanos, the Mad Titan. He was, at the time of Infinity War and Endgame, by far the biggest bad in the MCU, but as Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania begins Phase 5 and kicks the multiverse saga up to the next level, a villain is coming whose serious smarts, sinister aims, and several alternate selves will make defeating the big purple guy look like a walk in the park. His name is Kang the Conqueror, and he wants nothing less than dominion over absolutely everything across all realities. Because he doesn't just exist in a single universe, he's across every branch of the multiverse, at war not just with everyone else, but every other version of himself. Blimey. Now, just right here, we have some amazing details about Kang the Conqueror himself, but here's where Kevin Feige comes in, stating he is the obvious choice as you're dealing with the multiverse. Kang allowed us to do a new kind of big bad. He's a different type of villain, warring amongst themselves as much as he's warring with our heroes. So if you've been following the channel, you know that I have stressed this point a lot. Kang the Conqueror and the multiversal war isn't between our heroes and Kang, it's really between Kang and the other variants of himself. Of course, our heroes are eventually going to come in and try to stop Kang and a lot of his variants, but remember, in the beginning, it was him against himself, all of his different variants, and it's the same here. So we're going to see multiple different variants of Kang, including in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. There's not just going to be one Kang, but two. But Kevin Feige goes on to give us even more details. Kevin Feige continues to state, Kang's a very powerful person, but when we meet him, he's in a position where he needs to get that power back. He has a ship and a device that would allow him to go anywhere and any when he wants if he can get it online. If only he had access to genius scientists with PIM particles. So right there you have it. Kevin Feige has told us that is the main reason that Kang needs Ant-Man, because of the PIM particles. Kevin Feige has also confirmed that Kang is indeed stuck inside of the quantum realm. He has also confirmed that there are indeed many different variants of Kang, and we'll be running into them. So the Kang that is in charge of this giant city seems to be in full power. He seems to have total control over his army, over the city. We've seen it move a lot. We've seen the rings move around it, but why does Kang need a PIM particle? Well, what he really needs is a PIM disk. Kevin Feige says that when we meet Kang, he's a very powerful person, but he needs to get that power back. Now, I believe he is specifically talking about, when he says power, a power source. He means this in a literal way. Not the power that comes by being the king of the quantum realm, but physical power that is used to power his time chair. As I mentioned in the beginning, Kang in the comics uses his time chair to travel through time. That is his time travel device. However, it needs a power source to get it to be able to work, or as Kevin Feige says, get back online. He also kind of needs it strong enough to be able to take a lot with him, like his giant army, because remember, Kang has a lot of other Kangs to go up against who all probably have somewhat of an army themselves. So this power that Kang needs isn't just to power a simple little time chair, it's basically to power the entire city. And I believe that we have seen this power. I believe that Ant-Man and multiple different variants of Ant-Man are trying to get this power. This was shown in the trailer, and what does Ant-Man seem to be doing? Well, it looks like he is going to shoot a Pym particle at this giant source of power that would shrink it down. Now, this area that him and the other Ant-Man are in, from what we've heard, is called the Quantum Nexus. Now, this name isn't specifically mentioned in the comics, however, we do have the Nexus of all realities. And this does actually fit with what Kang is and what he's trying to do in the quantum realm. The Nexus of all realities is a place that can take you wherever and whenever you want, into any reality, and it can even take you in between realities. This would explain why we are seeing a lot of different Ant-Man in this scene. All of the different realities and all of the different variants could be coming in. So if this power source is what powers the quantum nexus and possibly gives the power to jump between realities, this is exactly what Kang wants. But again, it's massive. Kang couldn't simply harness this power. He couldn't simply grab this device. He needed the Pym particle, which is what Kevin Feige was saying. He needs a Pym disk to shrink it down so he can actually harness it and actually use it, put it inside of devices so he could get out of the quantum realm. So this is Kang's plan, his complete plan, and why he needs Scott, why he needs Ant-Man. But of course, it looks like Scott and everybody else is going to find out what Kang is actually up to. In fact, we know that Janet Van Dyne knows Kang. In fact, there's a rumor going around that Kang and Janet really knew each other very well before. But Janet is part of the reason that Kang is continuously stuck inside of the quantum realm because she sabotaged his ship. This is why Janet is so afraid of Kang in the 2 trailers that we've seen. It also makes this a little personal for Kang. Not only has Kang been stuck inside of the quantum realm, but his ship was sabotaged by Janet Van Dyne. So Kang is setting out for revenge as well, and this is actually how our main Avengers team will get involved. Kang is going to want revenge on the universe that Ant-Man, the Wasp, Stature, or Stinger, whichever they're calling her in this movie, Janet, Hank, the universe that all of these characters come from. He wants revenge on not just them, but the entire universe, and this is where the Avengers come in. We're not exactly sure how many variants of Kang are going to be in this movie, but I know that one of them, who's going to be a main Kang, is going to escape. I'm assuming Kang does not lose in this movie. I think it's kind of going to be like Avengers Infinity War. So I'm assuming Kang gets out of the quantum realm, and this is where he starts to become a problem for the multiverse, but specifically our universe. Kevin Feige stated he can go anywhere and anywhen as long as his ship gets back online. Well, it does look like Scott is going to indeed capture that power source, shrink it down, and that is going to end up in the hands of Kang, and he's going to get away. And therefore, the official Kang Dynasty will have begun. And I'm super excited for this and everything that is coming in Phase 5 and Phase 6. And I want to know how excited you are in the comments down below. So let us know. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. For live updates, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.